Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Baldr Sky. Dive 1. I just came back from the gym and ate some food. And yeah, today is actually quite late for me to be recording. Well, not like really late. But you know, compared to yesterday, which I was recording at what? 1 p.m? 1:30 or something? Right now it's about 3 p.m. 3:30 actually. But yeah, yesterday I was just playing some more, 100 line and whatnot. I was also watching more 100 line from Odd One. And someone in his chat actually said something pretty funny, since I'm also playing Baldr Sky. He said that he's also playing 100 line and the whole of 100 line is not as long as Baldr Sky. At least that's what he said. But that doesn't really say everything, because 100 line I feel like is a very long game. But after you are able to skip the battles, it becomes basically just a visual novel. In this one, even though you can still skip some of the battles, I think a lot of the time is most likely going to be the battles too, right? Not to mention the gameplay in this is also very fun. The gameplay in 100 line is nothing to speak, nothing to boast about, but it's still pretty fun nonetheless. But it's not like the main entree. So that's why they're able, or they put an option to skip it if you want to, which is kind of nice. But yeah, let me just do the last episode recap before we start the episode. So in the last episode, we finished off this S chapter. We went back to Arvel City, or I forgot whether or not we were already in Arvel City. But I think we were already in Arvel City. And we talked to Nanoha, we talked to Aki. And Nanoha found out that we're, a mercenary, right? I think it's because we didn't want to light her anymore after her confrontation with Shinatsu. It wasn't told explicitly yet at that time, but she kind of already knew, so she was trying to feign ignorance, right? But yeah, she lashed out on us and she ran away. And then Ark was attacked by viruses from Goat. And I think that the viruses was being brought by Chinatsu. So we destroyed all of those viruses. We went to this area called, I forgot what it's called, but it's like the edge of the... It's basically the area where the consciousness of AI resides. It was a really weird area. It's probably gonna be explained a lot more in Aki's route, because she is the one, that's probably more knowledgeable about that. But yeah, after that, we just logged out and we found Nanoha. The place was being ransacked by CDF. And yeah, after that, we went with Nanoha and Rain to her place. She said that she's been hiding in that hotel. It's a love hotel, and she's also working as I don't know what she's working as, to be honest, in the net cafe. But she probably just know the owner for some reason, yeah. But yeah, after that, we talked some more with Nanoha. We explain. Oh, the place is called S. There we go. I was wondering what that name was, what the chapter was called, or what the chapter is about. And yeah, S is that place where the subconscious of the AI is. But yeah, as I said, after we stayed in Nanoha's place, we talked to her. We told her that we're mercenary. She also said that she's been, well, I don't know. I feel like Nanoha hasn't really been truthful to us. I don't know what she's actually going through after Grey Christmas. I feel like she's probably in cahoots with Drexler, but maybe not. She did say she still believes in Naoki, and maybe she has contact with Naoki somehow. And yeah, we went to a flashback and saw a lot more about Naoki, which really impresses me. I really do think I relate to Naoki a bit, right? I mean, I'm guessing that he actually has a lot more of a hard time, since a lot of his family died from pollution, I believe, right? I think they said that the world, or the earth, was polluted because they put something like a substance a couple of years ago, and it started polluting the area that he's in, which killed most of his family. But yeah, I do feel like I kind of relate to him quite a bit. Like those sort of characters where, I don't know, maybe it's a bit superficial. Those sort of characters. Maybe it's the garner of pity. Maybe it's because I also experienced something similar about losing my mom, and I don't know. If I were to say like what really piques my interest about Naoki, I don't really know specifically what it is. But yeah, now that I say about it, maybe those type of characters are supposed to make you feel sorry for them. But yeah, we finished that flashback and we were like waking up and Nanoha was crying, so we hugged her. So yeah, that was the end of the chapter. Okay, more flashbacks. Nanoha and I go to school and find a crowd of people near the notice board. Of course, there's no real reason to go see the exam results by foot. You can easily look them up online. But it's a special occasion and sort of a custom. A sort of custom, so many students go out of their way to see the results in real life. Man, these guys are still very emotional, or I wouldn't say it's emotional, but you think that in a world like this where everything is a lot more instantaneous, a lot of people would be more practical, right? I'm a very practical person. There's no way I would actually take a look at the notice board if I don't have to. No matter how special the occasion is. But then again, I don't know. I'm a very detached person. Probably not a good idea to make me as a baseline. Downcast, she shakes her head. I'm guessing she failed the nano engineering department again. Nano engineering test. I thought I was prepared no matter the result, but still, what a shame. I present her the handkerchief I prepared. She shakes her head again. Her eyes are visibly red. Exactly. I feel like people should also already know whether or not they did very well on the exam, since they were the one that did it. The results being posted is just, you know, like confirmation that you did well. How should I console her? Lots of lines come to mind, but I doubt any of them will help in any way. Yeah, that one didn't work. As in, she's giving up. I'm not sure if I should support that. I don't want her to give up on her dream, but I also don't want her to overwork herself again. Nanoha runs away, not turning around even once. As I sigh, I feel someone tap me on the shoulder. It's Mr. Kurihara. He looks over at the direction where Nanoha disappeared. Like what? And half of it is my fault. How do I even make up for this? What other things is she thinking about? Now those are some words I didn't expect from him. And why is that? I don't actually believe that. I don't actually believe that.
あいつは農学部向きだと思うんですけどね。
People have a talent, people have a tendency to do something that they're good at, that they want to be at, or whatever you call it. But I do think that effort can prevail against, most things. I don't know. I'm kind of like a very strict person. So when something fails, in my mind, I don't blame the condition. I don't blame the circumstances. I blame the lack of effort I put in, right? If something doesn't fall into plan or fall, or not fall, I guess. If something doesn't go as planned, then there's something wrong, right, with the equation. Like I said, I'm a very practical person. Sure, there are outside interferences that can influence the result, but in my mind, a lot of the things that determine success or failure is in yourself. At least that's how I see it. When working on the garden, Nanoha is absolutely ecstatic. It's clearly her vocation. She's supposed to be bad at math, but weirdly enough, that goes away if it's related to agriculture. Even chemical formulas are a breeze to her if it's for fertilizer or something.
だったら誰かがそれを納得させてやらねばならないだろうな。
先生、あいつに助言してやってくれませんか？あいつ先生を誰よりも尊敬してますし。
それは私の役目ではない。きっと君こそが適任だろう。
He stares at me with his gentle eyes.
俺もそうしてやりたいんですけど、何をどうすればいいのかわからなくて。
もしナノハ君に何かあったら、ナノフラワーのことを調べてみたまえ。きっとその情報が君に何かを教えてくれる。
Is this nanoflower something? An experiment that's I don't know. What is a nanoflower? What I'm thinking is that maybe this nanoflower thing that the parents were researching was actually something that they used on Nanoha. The first thing I notice upon waking up is that I'm all alone.
Nanoha.
Huh. Did the CG of the background change? Silence. Then again, that only makes sense. This isn't her room. A few days have passed since then. Okay, yeah, it did change. We ended up getting a place near hers, but she seems to be avoiding me now. Rain's off handling something else at the moment too. She sends in status reports now and then, but only through email. Letting out a sigh, I take a look around the dull room. Sitting on the windowsill is a plant pot housing a white flower. Why not just say pot? I pick up the pot to inspect it further. The flower itself reminds me of a carnation. They may be similar in appearance, but nanoflowers aren't actually plants. They were created as a demonstration of what second-generation nanomachines are capable of. Unsurprisingly, they caused a huge stir in society. Nanoha's parents were welcomed into the GU's research team after successfully creating one, from what I heard. And then, not long after... Now I remember what happened. She already had no family to speak of by that point. How long ago was that, though? I take another glance at the white flower, which brings to mind something Mr. Kurihara once told me.
もしナノハ君に何かあったら、ナノフラワーのことを調べてみたまえ。きっとその情報が君に何かを教えてくれる。
Damn Naruto flashbacks. We just saw that like not even 5 minutes ago. I shut my eyes and access the net. It's a nanomachine with the ability to multiply, albeit to a very limited degree. Much like a plant, it grows into a consistent shape over time, then multiplies by spreading seeds. It can even wilt and disperse after letting out oxygen. And to top it all off, it does all this while purifying both the soil and air, even if the results are hardly much to speak of.
けれど、植物じゃない。なんだか植物の定義がわからなくなりそうだよな。
Well, is it a living organism? They chose to model it after a flower because their daughter always loved them. Meanwhile, its resemblance to a carnation was influenced by the boy next door, who always got on well with their daughter. Its ability to purify the environment was their greatest gift to their daughter. Their way of promising her a bright future, says the entry.
おじさん、おばさん。
Oh. Both of their faces come to mind. He didn't even say that. He said, you know, like uncle and aunt. Nanoha always got along with them so well. I found myself looking up to them as the ideal family. Let's see. Both of them were killed during a terrorist attack. Killed? Both of them?
おじさんやおばさんが死んでるって。あいつ、一言もそんなことは。
I mean, I don't know. Well, she probably already knew about this growing up, but I don't know whether or not she knew about it when she was younger. And Ko, come on, it's very easy to know that she's, or I guess it's not very, like it's such a, what is it? It's easy to speculate what happened to her family, because you know they were researching something very controversial. And humans are garbage people. I hate humans. We stared at each other in disbelief. Nano's presence always reminded us what it was like to have family. Yet underneath the surface, she didn't have any of her own.
じゃあ、あの子ずっと一人ぼっちで
Shinatsu snaps back to reality, then tries to rush outside while dragging her leg. Wait, is this the present or is this... What is going on right now? Why is Shinatsu with me?
私、探してくる
Oh, that was a flashback, okay. Oh yeah, Nanoha ran away from the dorm that day. Shinatsu's leg was busted at the time as well, but she went out of her way to help search for her. Memories of those days start flooding back once more. Days we'll never get back. Professor. I head outside in the hopes of making myself feel better, but something doesn't feel quite right.
こりゃまた暴動でも起きそうな雰囲気だな。
So, at this point, in the other route, this is when Rain snuck out to try to kill Anan. I'm guessing because our feelings or our emotions aren't as unstable as the other route. She's actually taking it slow in this timeline. You could almost cut the tension with a knife. There's a bunch of shady people hanging around, and the CDF seems to have their eyes on them. Taking care not to bring attention to myself, I rush over to the usual net cafe. It's full of the usual weirdos as expected.
米内議員暗殺事件に関連し、昨晩現鈴代市長の阿南義雄氏が CDF により逮捕されたとの発表がありました。
Okay, so he's already apprehended. I mean, before we kind of went there like with Rain first, but you know, Masa was also there, so yeah.
やっと報道しやがったか。ついに豚が豚箱に入ったとお披露目かよ。喜んでんじゃねえよダゴ。つまりはゴートがこの町のボスを失脚させたってことだぜ。長官野郎はとんでもねえクソいいだもんね。この町もそろそろとんずらする頃合いかもよ。
I keep my eye on the regulars while searching through the store. Nano is nowhere to be found though. I'm pretty sure she is meant to be working today though. Is she skipping out to try to avoid me?
いや、あいつが仕事をサボるなんてありえないよな。
Thinking that, I take a look behind the counter. Yup, just as expected, she was hiding under it.
よ、なのは。
うんおはよう
Oh, sorry about that. She does everything she can to avoid eye contact. I can tell that her cheeks are flushed too.
なのは、ちょっといいか。
ごめん仕事が忙しいから
She turns her back and tries to run off. Seeing that, I quickly reach out and stop her.
なのは、何怒ってるんだ。兵隊になったの隠してたことか。なら謝る。だから。
違うよこの前成り行きだったけどコート一緒に寝ちゃってずーっと泣いちゃって れでなんていうか恥ずかしくて。
菜の葉。
I mean, I guess I can kind of understand that.
やだ、私何言ってるんだろう。お願い話して。
She's about to start crying again.
それにこう何かって言うとすぐレインさんと黙って見つめ合って。
だからお前そういう問題じゃなくて仕方がないな。ちゃんとって言葉を調べてみろ。軍事用語の定義でな。
There's doubt in her eyes, but she closes them regardless.
直接通話機能の俗称ってこれのこと？
ああ、そいつのことだ。普通の通話機能より高機能で秘匿性に優れていてだな。
うんうん。視聴覚への強制割り込みを使う特殊なツールであるため一般には流通しておらず現在は軍隊かそれに準じる組織でのみ使用。へえ、すごい。テレパシーが使えるみたいなものなんだね。
Seems like she's reading the official description of it, based on the way she's staring into thin air while talking.
だから俺とレインはただ見つめ合ってたわけじゃないんだぜ。
だったら隠さなくてもよかったのに。
最初は兵隊だってことすら隠してたんだぞ。それにだな。
羨ましい。だったらレインさんはいつでもコウと内緒話ができるんだね。
その物欲しそうな顔はよせって。
I figured this would happen.
別に欲しがったりしないよ。軍隊の装備なんだしプライバシーを侵害しかねないし、いろいろ事情があるんだろうし。
She says, still looking entirely jealous. That said, the last thing I ought to be doing is handing over military tools to civilians. Useful tools like this can become dangerous depending on how they're used.
コピーはできるけどな。お前に渡していいもんかどうか。
もらえるの？欲しい欲しい。
When she starts acting the age she looks, I guess it's fine if I limit her contact list to just me and Rain. Not like she'll do anything weird with it. I don't know about that. But then again...
やっぱりダメ。
Oh, come on, that's cheating. I might have nightmares if I say no at this point.
そんなに欲しいのか。普通の要件なら電話で十分だろう。
だってコウはすぐに電話が届かなくなるしメールしてもなかなか読んでくれないし。
I do make sure to cut off regular means of communication whenever I'm on a mission. Needless to say, that means emails get ignored too. That said... damn it.
絶対に持っていることを口外するな。約束だぞ。
じゃあいいの？コウ。
This is such a bad mistake.
仕方がないな。コピーしてやるよ。
I mean, I don't know how smart she is if she can reverse engineer the software that we gave her to make it so that she can use it to just more than Rain and us. I don't know. I still don't trust Nanoha though. Then again, I don't trust anyone. Been a while since I saw someone so excited they started jumping up and about. I'd be lying if I said it didn't make me happy.
特にネットカフェの連中には言うな。好奇心で脳内チップを探られてプライバシーを暴かれた上に操り人形にされていたずらされかねないからな。
あの人たちはそんなことしないよ。ってそんなことができちゃうの？
No idea.
ああ、軍事用なのは伊達じゃない。
I'm lying, of course. I'd never use something that dangerous, let alone pass it to her.
おじけすぎたか？
I take out my neurojack and stare her down.
そりゃちょっとは怖いけど、でもコウといつでもお話できるのなら。
She gives me a firm nod. I plug my neurojack into her neck, then close my eyes. I saw her request something there. I'm guessing it's the same as when we did it with Aki before. Once linked up with her, I installed the program directly.
聞こえる？
ああ、聞こえる。これでいつでも俺と会話できる。
すごいねこれ。
くれぐれも慎重に使ってくれ。これはれっきとした軍用のツールなんだからな。
でもコウ、なんでコウはこんな道具まで使って戦っているの？
Oh, she's done.
俺はずっと 先生を探し続けてきたんだ。
She leans in closer, listening intently.
鈴代市に来たのも先生たちを追ってのことだ。
どうして
Oh, sorry about that. Her lips begin to quiver as she stares at me. I can tell her body's gone rigid too.
先生に尋ねたいことがあったはずなんだ。皮肉にもそれを今まで忘れていて。いや、それもなんとなく分かっている。俺はどうしてあんなことになったのか先生に聞かなきゃいけないんだ。
やっぱり先生をアセンブラを疑っているんだね。
Yes.
確証はしてないさ。だからこそ真実を調べる必要がある。
そんなの調べるまでもないよ。
She grips my hand tight, staring deviantly at me.
アセンブラにも先生にも非なんかあるはずない。あれはお父さんやお母さんが先生が人生をかけて取り組んでいたんだよ。
Tears begin to stream down her cheek. This is the first time I've seen her shout in a blind rage like this.
それに研究所は多重の安全装置があったんだよ。先生たちは暴走なんてありえないって。暴走したら研究所ごと自爆するって言ってたんだよ。
I'm fully aware of why she still believes in both Mr. Kurihara and Assembler even now. That's why it hurts to hear her say all this. There's no way in the world she would doubt her own parents' life work.
なのにどうしてこうだけは信じてくれると思っていたのに。
I mean, your parents are already dead, Nanoha. Just because, you know, the baseline was made by your parents doesn't mean that whatever they're creating is going to be the same project, you know? Right? Just because they're trying to do the same thing doesn't mean that it's actually something that your parents are trying to make, basically.
俺だって信じたい。だからこそ無罪の証拠を見つけなくちゃいけないだろ。分かってくれよ。俺はただ原因が知りたいんだ。俺は空が溶けるのを目の前で見たんだ。生きながらに空は溶けていたよ。化け物みたいにぐちゃぐちゃにされて、あんなひどい光景この世に存在すると思ってなかった。
The memories start flooding back again. Memories of the moment that changed my life for good. A moment straight out of my nightmares.
それでも最後まで目は俺を見てたんだ。あの目は悲しそうで本当に怖そうで、きっと最後の瞬間まで空は意識があったんだと思う。俺は何もできなかった。変わってやれるなら変わってやりたかった。あんなのひどすぎる。あれじゃなぶり殺し以下だ。
I don't think so, Ko.
もういいよ、こう。もういいから。
最後には何も残らなかったのが幸いだよ。いや、あの後の地獄絵図を見なくて幸いだったかもしれない。
お願い。
学園も街もむちゃくちゃになってたよ。どこに行っても焦土が廃墟化したいばっかりで。もしあれが単なる暴走じゃないのなら、こんな事件を引き起こしたやつを絶対にこの手で叩きのめして。
A familiar sense of warmth spreads through me all of a sudden. Man, I don't know. I just do not care about Nanoha whatsoever. Seeing her in tears causes my emotion to settle down, instead being replaced by sadness.
分かってる。俺だってお前がムキになる理由ぐらい分かってるさ。
Man, I feel like the older I get, the more my lack of empathy is showing, guys. Like a couple of years ago, I was actually thinking that my empathy towards my family is a bit better. But now, I actually am not sure. And I don't actually think it's a bad thing either, because I don't know. I just like myself this way, I guess. Reasoning aside, something she trusted so much ended up throwing the world into chaos. She grew up hearing stories about Assembler from both her parents and Mr. Kurihara. In that respect, Great Christmas rips something precious away from her.
分かってくれ。俺は真実を確かめたいだけなんだ。疑いを晴らしたいんだ。先生にミスがない、何の非もないと分かれば、それが一番幸いだ。
I mean, I agree. The fact that Nanoha just blindly believes this and not try to even, you know, reach out, or I was gonna say reach out to the truth, but that's actually a song in Persona 4.
それに悪かったな、ナノハ。俺はどうやら肝心なことを忘れていたらしい。先生に対するお前の気持ちさ。
She wholeheartedly admired him, and that just makes what I said all the more inconsiderate. She looks up to me, her face covered in tears. Is that guy dead? Just then, a scream resounds through the store.
痛い！何の騒ぎだ？
All the consoles around us begin to rumble, more screams following. Now that I think about it, I should have figured something was up. The joint was way too quiet.
まさか誰かがここに仕掛けてきているのか。
I rush over to the nearby console. The person inside is foaming at the mouth. Their eyes roll to the back of their head. I throw my fist right down onto the abort key. That causes their consciousness to return to the real world. Can you actually do that? If it's possible to just log out like that, even with an anchor, couldn't you just do that? What the fuck? Why not just have a person on standby, like in real life, and if you get an anchor and you can't log out, forcefully abort? What? What is this garbage suddenly? You can do that? I thought if you do that, they actually die too. Huh?
おい、一体何があった？ちくしゅう、どこかのクソ野郎がアイスにウイルスを。
She's visibly shaking. Noises from outside start to make their way in here too.
まさか暴動が始まったのか。おい、ナノハちゃん、大変だ。クソ反 AI どもがこっちに押しかけてくるぞ。モップの襲撃ってやつだ。
Let me say my game.
セーブします。よろしいでしょう。
She collapses to her knees the moment she hears that. It's bad news if they manage to get in here. Thinking that, I launch myself over the counter and hit the key to trigger the store's security measures. Steel shutters lower themselves around the doors and windows, shutting out all noise from outside.
誰か裏口に回り込め。こんな店だ。セキュリティはそれなりにしっかりしてるんだろ。よっしゃ、任せとけ。
The regulars start running around at my command.
なのだ。全部の棺桶回ってアボートキーを押してこい。一番目立つ赤いボタンだ。
Just as instructed, she heads further into the store and starts hitting all the abort keys. I feel like this is impossible to do. What the hell? You can just abort people and log out? I feel like that's... I don't know. That's a bit too convenient.
ああ、頼む。アイスは俺に任せておけ。これでも一応本職だからな。 頼もしいね、軍人さん。俺たちは運動の衆だ。あんたが仕切ってやってくれ。
For a group without any unity, they sure are doing a good job of putting this place on lockdown. Definitely deserve a crew that's reliable when the time calls for it.
この調子なら無事に暴動を乗り切れられそうだな。
とりあえずこの場はね。だけど暴動が本格化するのはこれからだ。見ろよ。共振者の暴動が煽っているぜ。
They point to the monitor on the wall. Displayed on it is a sickening yet familiar voice. I thought it's supposed to be anti-AI people. Huh? Yeah, it's the anti-AI. I thought these guys are pro-AI. What the fuck?
塔に閉じこもり、魂をネットと切り離した者たちよ。バベルの塔は悪しき神の策略で倒壊し、世に混乱がまき散らされた。彼が絶対者ならば何故そんな必要があった。
I mean, I don't believe in God, so whatever this guy is saying doesn't provoke me in any way.
恐怖こそは彼の武器だ。だが恐怖こそは肉体の発する言語。肉体を捨てれば恐怖もまた力を失う。また民は塔に集うのだ。その時かの悪しき神が下した呪いが集結する。
His figure disappears once the sermon is over, leaving only noise on a screen.
ドミニオンの進歩が AI 派を煽れば今度は反 AI 派の拠点が荒れそうだな。いずれまた暴動はどこかで始まる。 AI 派と反 AI 派、ずっとこの繰り返しさ。この街も随分と住みづらくなっちまったもんだよ。あんたらも隙を見て逃げなよ。ああ、少しほとぼりを冷ましてからそうするさ。
I make my way further into the store in search of Nanoha. A number of lifeless bodies remain in the consoles. Nanoha's done what you can to give them a proper send-off. Are those the people that died? So, didn't you basically just make her kill those guys if they die once you abort them? I eventually find her right at the back of the store. I put my arm around her shoulder and take her to the front of the store. The riot starts to pick up again in the evening. Things have been kicking off all over the area, so there's no sign of it calming down anytime soon. Meanwhile, Nanoha and I opt to hide in the store and wait things out. All the other regulars have fled already, so at this point it's just us and the corpses.
この店ももうおしまいだね。いろいろあったけど、やっとそれなりに馴染んできたのにな。
I mean, what are the police doing? What are the CDF doing? What is GOAT doing?
またきっと馴染める場所が見つかるさ。
そうかもしれないけど、疲れちゃったよ。
She stares at her feet, unable to hide the sadness she's feeling. As usual, I'm at a loss for words. Instead, I just put my arms around her.
注意、ご無事でしたか?
A chant from Rain rings through my head.
ああ、結構危なかったけどな。そっちの状況はどうなんだ？
こちらもごたごたに巻き込まれまして、すぐに迎えに行きますから、あまり無茶はしないでください。
いや。
Well then, our chances of making it through this are way higher if Rain's coming. Now I just need to figure out a way to get Nanoha out of Suzushiro. The last thing I want is for her to hang around in a city where riots and conspiracies are a daily occurrence. Oh, sorry about that.
今日はずっとソラ先輩の仇を撃とうとしてたんだよね。
敵討ちじゃないさ。前も言ったけど、真相を調べたいだけなんだ。
Nah, your OG personality is probably trying to look for revenge, Ko.
でも、真相次第では敵討ちをした。違う。
Yeah, that's also true.
わからないな。真相を知った時になってみないと。
でも、知らなくちゃいけないから。またすぐに戦いに行っちゃうんだよね。
I can't answer her. The closer I get to the bottom of things, the more convinced I am that this is my mission. Part of me has come to think that protecting Nanoha takes precedence, though.
やっぱり、そうなのかな。
She lets her... Oh, sorry about that.
よろしいでしょう
No,
か。
no, 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 no! What do I do to cancel that?
よろしいでしょうか。
No, you fool! Okay, there we go. I don't know what actually is cancel, but when I try to cancel with my freaking controller, it actually loads. She lets her thoughts slip through unfiltered.
そうって何を納得しているんだ？
あのね、それは
Not only does she struggle to finish her sentence, but her cheeks are going red. She sneaks a glance at me, looking a bit troubled. Even still, nothing will happen if she stays silent. She herself is aware of that. What is she trying to say?
こうが言っちゃうと思うと辛いの。
After some hesitation, she finally lets me know what she's thinking, even if it's almost inaudible.
お前は寂しがり屋だからな。
それだけじゃないよ。
She looks a bit upset this time. The way she's puffing her puffing her cheeks is unbearably cute. Enough so that I can't help but kiss her. What the fuck? Her eyes shoot open in surprise. Needless to say, she's blushing like mad too. What the fuck is going on? I'm almost as surprised myself, really. That said,
俺もだよ。お前を置き去りにするのが辛いんだ。
my heart stings a bit upon saying that, as there's no guarantee that I can stay with her. Guess that just goes to show how important she's become to me.
本当にそう思ってくれているの？
The development in this game is actually pretty interesting, but man, the romance is out of nowhere. Co-liking Nanoha in this route, sure, we've been seeing Nanoha a lot more in the flashbacks and stuff, but I cannot really see Ko liking Nanoha as anything more than a childhood friend.
当たり前だ。でなきゃこんなにしつこくキスなんかするもんかよ。
In an attempt to hide my own embarrassment over saying that, I move in and kiss her once more.
じゃあ本当に喜んで私とキスしてくれて。
I plant my lips right between hers, reaffirming that they're just as soft as they look.
ダメだよ。まだ肝心なことが言えてないのに。
She shakes her head about, somehow managing to avoid my assault.
だったら頼む言ってくれ。その肝心なことってのを聞いてみたい。
でも心の準備が。
This time I aim for her while she's still talking, successfully stealing both her breath and her words.
またキスした。
This is weird. I stick my tongue in a bit, pressing it against hers. You done? Nano shuts her eyes each time I kiss her, though she shows no sign of struggling either.
もうキスばっかされたら喋れないよ。
God, the romance in this game is awful. But if you disregard the romance, everything is actually pretty nice. And that's what I'm doing. Every time any romance is happening, I'm like, yeah, this just, I'm gonna ignore what the heck's going on. Or like, I'm not ignoring it, but, you know, it doesn't happen in my head. That doesn't stop her from complaining every time she gets a chance, though.
ほら、ちゃんと喋っているじゃないか。
こんなにキスされたら頭がぼっとして変なこと口走っちゃいそうだ。
She gasps for breath while speaking. Her face is bead red, and she seems to be trying to avoid eye contact.
口走るってなのは。
でもこうはソラ先輩が。
The face of someone once dear pops up in my head, in my mind for an instant. I take that instant to apologize to her.
俺と空も肝心なことを言えずに終わったんだ。
What, the most important part is having sex? So retarded.
もうあんなのはごめんなんだ。お前が言えないなら俺が言うぞ。なのは、多分俺はお前のこと。
やっぱりダメ。
She pushes me away from her out of nowhere.
そうか。
It takes a moment for the rejection to sink in.
違うの。誤解しないで。ごめん。やっぱり私その前にこう私こうに言わなくちゃいけないことがあるの。
She takes a deep breath, then meets my eyes with a stern expression.
実は私栗原先生に。
Just then, I hear a noise from within the store.
誰だ。くそ。
Hmm? Do we know who this is? Is that you, Shizzle?
セーブします。よろしいでしょう。
I guess she wasn't expecting to hear Naoki's name. Fully armed soldiers pour out from all parts of the store, guns at the ready. They waste no time in surrounding and trying to restrain us.
やめろ、手を出すな、お前ら。重要な
Oh,
参
it's
考人たち
Shinatsu.
だ。丁重に扱え。
They take their hands off us the moment she orders them to.
雑なことをするんじゃないよ。
The owner of said voice finally makes her appearance, showing off a familiar ponytail.
先輩。
脅かして悪かったね。でも、こっちも仕事なんだ。
仕事？お前らゴートが何の用だ？
門倉コーチよりアーク社との関与について尋ねたいことがある。若草菜の葉、君もだ。二人とも抵抗せず、おとなしく投降してもらいたい。
She sounds stern at first, but her expression lightens up a bit.
おう、菜の葉をかばって無茶な真似はしないでね。この建物の周辺も固めてあるから。
いや、
I grit my teeth while raising my arms. This isn't some random group we're dealing with. Good will be able to restrain me in a flash if I try anything. Ideally, I'd be able to let Nanoha escape, provided the chance comes. A quick glance her way tells me that she's gone pale and is shaking in fear.
頼む。手を挙げて。おとなしくすれば乱暴はしない。
菜の葉、ここは言うことを聞くんだ。
Our words only cause her to shake more violently. She lets out a scream, then tries to run away.
待て、菜の葉！
撃つな！あの子私が拘束する！
Shinatsu takes a step, ready to chase after Nanoha. Just then, a flare comes crashing through the window.
敵襲？銃は使うな！同士討ちになるぞ！
I'm guessing she's actually being monitored, Nanoha. Did rain finally arrive? My body goes into autopilot before I know it.
裏口から逃げろ！
I let out a silent scream through chant, then dash right up to Chinatsu while she's distracted. Just as I do so, she turns around, almost in slow motion. Before I know it, I'm lying in a pile of table racks. God, Ko is such a chump. What the hell? I couldn't even parse what she just did. Was Shinatsu always this strong?
お願い子、立たないで。
I can't even fire back at her. My whole body's in pain. My stomach feels like it's in my throat. I mean, she's part of Goat Co. She probably had military drills drilled into her. I mean, I don't know how Ko is as an athlete or as a mercenary, you know? But, I think he's kind of garbage. Ko's probably only good at, simulacrum battles. It genuinely feels like I got smacked by a full-blown simulacrum. My body's pretty much unresponsive at this point. What's more, Nanoha has run back to my side and is shaking me about.
バカ野郎、なんで戻ってきたんだよ。
I somehow managed to grab her head and make her duck down.
頭を上げるな。巻き込まれて死ぬぞ。
The sound of metal smashing metal resounds from beyond a cloud of smoke. Screams and the sound of flesh being cut repeat one after another. Some splatters of blood even make their way onto me. I still feel like I'm about to collapse out of pain, but I push through it to cover Nanoha.
撤収しろ！体勢を立て直す！
Silence envelops the room once more. Why did they use... I guess they didn't use a gun because they were actually protecting us? Oh, what the fuck? It's Naoki. As the smoke begins to disperse, the figure of a man holding two swords becomes clear. I know someone who used to dual-wield katanas. Don't tell me.
無事かね、コウ君。
The moment I see his face, the pain gets the most of me, making me collapse. An odd stench, combined with the moist atmosphere, assaults my senses. I open my eyes only to be met with the sight of a concrete wall. There are cracks all over it. trickles of water pouring down them. Yeah, I kind of knew that might not have been rain. Because she would have told us via chant that she was gonna do something, right? That's why my first thought was that maybe she's being monitored, Nanoha. Turning my head, I'm greeted by Mr. Kurihara's smile. Oh, now I remember. Go try to raid the net cafe and then he appeared. A sharp pain runs through my chest the moment I spring up. The person I've spent all these years searching for is sitting right in front of me, smiling. Every single thing I've wanted to ask him crams right onto the tip of my tongue, leaving me speechless. I mean, these guys, the Drexler guys, are being kept by Anon, so this is the Anon shelter, I'm guessing. No. Anon gave the area, but we're probably under Dominion, right? Yeah, I think this is actually the place where we blew up in Rain's route. I try to establish contact with Rain through a chant. I can't connect to her though. I finally noticed the belt around my neck. Not just that, but something sticking into my neurojack. Seems like a jammer of some sort. I won't be able to dive or hack into anything as long as it's on. So basically, I'm fully cut off from any sort of network right now. That's actually a bit worrisome. The net is pretty much a sixth sense for second gens like me. Just then, something comes to mind. Something Nanoha was about to tell me. I'm guessing she's gonna say have made contact. She sounded like she was about to admit something in relation to him. Anger swells up in me. Not just at Nanoha for hiding it, but him for dragging her into all this. Sorry. Someone grabs me from behind and pulls me away. I turn to see a big, burly guy. Yeah, we are in the Dominion base. He answers with respect. I notice he's wearing a pendant with an inverted cross, and the tattoo on his arm is of the same symbol. That's the Minion symbol. He taps my shoulder like he always used to, and then we set off. You know, I was thinking about the reason why I like Naoki, right? And I think the reason why I like him is that I'm kind of a sucker for people who even though clearly he's been through a lot of tough shit, he's still trying to do good things to the world. I think the reason why I like those type of characters is because it's such a stark contrast with me, right? I feel like I've also been through a couple of tough times, and my choice is actually to forsake everything that's not myself. So it's like showing me something that, you know, I can actually do to make the world a better place. Even though my choice is, I choose myself over the world, right? I don't know how to explain it, but that's how I feel anyway. The two of us make our way down the dark, narrow corridor.
あの事件以来、我々は各地を転々としながら研究を続けてきた。さまざまな勢力や人物に追われながらね。実際危ないことも何度かあった。
それは知っていますよ、先生。
Mainly because I was one of those parties. He probably knows that too.
そこまでしてアセンブラを完成させたかったんですが、あれほどの大惨事を引き起こしながら。
それが誤解を解くただ一つの方法だったからな。
誤解ですって？一体何がどう誤解なんですか？
I don't like how Ko is clearly, you know, being so aggressive even though he wants to know the truth. Your tone isn't being inquisitive, Ko. It's being an idiot. I let out a stiff laugh. Crap, I need to calm down. Otherwise, I might actually flip my lid if he says something that triggers me.
一つだけ分かってほしい。アセンブラには欠陥はなかった。絵師仕掛けた世界を救うのにアセンブラは不可欠だ。我々が諦めれば全てが終わってしまうのだ。
そのアセンブラに空は殺されたんですよ。
空くんか。
He stops for a moment, then directs his gaze toward me.
あの時何があったのか君は。
Oh, sorry about that.
どうして被害の中心地にいながら先生たちは生き延びることができたんですか？
答えは簡単だ。我々はそこにいなかったからだ。
そういえば15分前にはもうラボから脱出していたそうですね。
流出時刻の少し前、何者かから施設に爆弾を仕掛けたとの警告を受けた。そのため職員全員に施設からの退避命令が出た。現場は多少混乱していたが、指示に従い全員が脱出を終えたはずだ。
What I said, of course, doesn't, you know, it might not be true if Naoki here is still using a persona to try to fool us. But I guess whether or not he's a good guy or a bad guy, I like the depth of character that he has, you know.
じゃあ、もぬけの殻の研究所で勝手にナノが暴走した。先生たちはそれに何ら関与していないというわけですね。
This isn't a possibility I'd consider, but I might as well ask.
当時、アセンブラを管理していた AI が暴走した可能性はありませんか？
事故後、我々も原因を探ったよ。しかし、AI の問題であるとは考えにくい。もっと現実的な原因の方が思い当たる。
Yeah, terrorist was the one that actually used it. I mean, they planted bombs for Pete's sake.
現実的ね。例えば、人為的なミスによる流出ですか？アセンブラの威力を誇示しようとして。
いや、外部による工作、あるいは謀略の可能性だ。
なぜそう言えるんです？
あの時、爆破予告はあったが、実際には施設の爆破など起こらなかった。
Wait, what?
だったら、施設から人払いをするのが偽の爆破予告の目的だったと？
そうだ。そして、あえてこの日を狙った。そう考えられる。
What for?
あの日、統合軍将校と政府高官による視察があったのは知っているね。
I was not. I think they might have actually said that true though. Because Sora wanted to go there to talk to Rain's dad? I nod in silence.
私は彼らの前でアセンブラのデモを行った。アセンブラの機能を完璧に実演してみせたんだ。
しかしどうして将校たちが視察を？アセンブラの目的は環境再生じゃなかったんですか？
彼らはアセンブラの軍事転用を考えていた。ナノマシン兵器としての機能を実現できるように期待されていた。
The sights I saw that day flood back. Sora melting before my eyes. The ruins after the blast.
そうやってナノ推進派の議員や軍人たちに媚びを売らねばアセンブラの開発を続けていくことはもはや難しかったのだ。
苦渋の選択ってわけですか。理想追求のためには仕方がないってやつですね。そして今は苦渋を飲んでドミニオンに協力している。違いますか？
So I guess what they're doing is they can basically reverse engineer or change the settings for Assembler to become, you know, a nano-based weapon?
君の非難はもっともだ。私もあの場でアセンブラの誤った可能性を提示してしまったことを恥じている。
Yeah, I guess so.
だが、もっと恥じるべき人物がどこかにいるはずなのだ。その者はアセンブラに危険を感じ、完成前に破壊しようとしたのかもしれない。
And you're gonna blame Ark, huh? Because Ark was the one that used the orbital laser.
未完成のアセンブラは無害な物質に過ぎないからな。もぬけの殻となった施設に侵入し、アセンブラを盗み出そうとして予期せぬ事故を引き起こしたのかもしれない。
科学者のくせに推測が多すぎますね。逃亡生活が長すぎてパラノイアにでもなっているんじゃないですか。
あるいはそうかもしれないな。が、当日の議員、軍人たちの行動には不審なものが感じられるのだ。
I mean, that's true.
デモンストレーションの後、視察団の一部は予定を切り上げて研究所を立ち去った。その中には今のゴート長官もいた。
So he knew Rain's
彼
dad.
らは開発計画に否定的な人々だった。おそらくは完璧に動作するアセンブラを見ても不安や危機感しか感じなかっただろう。一方、残りの者たちも満足して施設を去っていった。それがナノの軍事転用を推進していた者たちだ。その中には市長になる前のアナンもいた。
Man, how is Anon even a mayor?
よろしいで
I
しょ
guess he has a lot of money. He's such a bad character.
会話は盗聴されている可能性がある。ちゃんとで重要な話をこれから伝える。我々は統合と潜伏のためドミニオンの力を借り、その代償として破壊兵器としてのアセンブラ開発を要求されている。だが我々はドミニオンを欺こうと考えている。アセンブラをプログラムできるのは我々だけだ。
I mean, they're smart. They probably knew about this too, you know.
彼らには破壊兵器と思わせておき、環境浄化ナノを起動するつもりだ。我々は消されるだろうが、世界は救われる。だから、その前にナノハ君を連れて逃げてくれ。
そうだったんですか。
I'm not sure how much I should believe, to be honest. First, we have the idea that the leak back then was the result of someone else's plot. Then there's the idea of him looking to betray Dominion, right? To right a previous wrong.
つまりアセンブラは完成している。ドミニオンはアセンブラを使おうとしているんですか？
Mm-hmm.
すでに完成している。そして追い詰められたドミニオンが切り札として使う可能性もある。
It'd be so easy if I could just take everything he says at face value. I can't though. That's why I stare at him, trying to figure out what to do.
ま、すぐに信じてくれと言っても無理だろう。心ゆくまで我々を調べ上げ。
Sadly, people lie, Naoki. And yes, I do not believe you.
ええ、もちろんそうさせてもらうつもりですよ。
He gives me a firm nod, then sets down the corridor we came from.
もう一つ聞かせてください。 空は一体あの日研究所で何をしていたんですか？
I mean, we already know from the other timeline.
空君のことは聞いている。本当に残念だった。私も詳しいことは知らないが、視察団の誰かと個人的に親しかったようだ。さすが顔の広い娘だな。
確かに誰かと会う約束があるとは言っていましたが、
空君は施設を退出した後、施設周辺の封鎖によって取り残されてしまったらしい。あと少し彼女が帰るのが早ければそこに取り残されることはなかった。あるいは遅ければ我々と共に施設を脱出できたはずだ。そう思うと私も胸が痛む。
There's no use in considering about what ifs. Accept the past for what it is. That's not the expression of a liar, or at least I don't want to believe it is. I mean, how would we know what the expression of a liar is, Ko? Some people have very sturdy, like poker faces.
君は我々を追う中でいくつかの説を聞いたはずだ。どれを信じるかは君自身の問題だ。だが青春で学んだものとして感情に溺れず理性で判断することを願っている。
Saying that, he sets off once again.
分かっています。
Do you really understand, Ko? You're definitely not someone who uses logic most of the time. Whatever I choose to believe, I want it to be by my own judgment, just like Nanoha.
ナノハは先生のことを今でも信じていますよ。
I call out to him one last time.
そうか。ナノハ君のことは気がかり
He stops in his tracks.
だ。あの日、我々と共に施設を脱出したがために彼女に余計な苦労をかけているかもしれない。
あの時ナノハも研究所にいたんですか？
すまない。もう行かなくては。
His footsteps gradually disappear into the distance. What? That was a very short chapter. Wow.
セーブします。
No battles, no nothing, just straight up plot. Very enjoyable for me. I like the battles in this game, but man, I'm definitely not someone who, prefers gameplay compared to story so that I can speculate. There's a reason why I play visual novels, guys, because I am sick of gameplay and I just wanna I just wanna speculate about stories and stuff.
こう、起きてる？
I'm greeted once again by the dreary underground scenery upon waking up. I think it's been about 3 days since I was locked up in a hideout underneath Suzushiro.
ナノハ、どこだ？
It's only after asking that I realized she was using chant to speak to me.
ごめんね。本当にごめんね。
She has to be pretty close by, yet I can't see her.
返事はしなくてもいいから聞いて。もう聞いてるかもしれないけど、私先生と連絡が取れるのにずっとこうに隠してた。
I mean, I was already under the impression that you were affiliated with them.
そうか。
事件の時も研究所にいたの。そのまま先生に連れ出されて脱出して。
Why you're there, I don't know though.
ごめんなさい。私騙すつもりはなかったの。本当だよ。
I have zero intention of blaming her. Both him and Assembler mean the world to her after all.
ナノハ、別に謝る必要はない。
けど、
俺が知ったら先生に何をするか怖かった。あるいは問い詰められるのが怖かった。違うか？
うん。ごめん、弱虫で。私、全然強くなれてない。
十分強いさ。お前にしてはよく頑張った。
ごめんね。
Her sobbing continues for a while. Not only did she get caught up in that disaster, she was left with nowhere to go and no one to rely on. Even still, she did her best to push through it all. Yet there I was, running about fighting others without sparing a thought for her situation.
本当に怒っていないから もう泣くな。俺の気持ちはキスした時と全く変わっていない。
ありがとう。本当にありがとう。
I can picture her wiping away her tears.
そんな話より、菜の葉、お前は先生の話を信じているんだな。
こうも先生の話を聞いたんだね。
まあな。
やっぱりこうは先生の話を信じられない。
No.
信じたいよ。あの人は俺の師匠なんだからさ。
No doubt that I would have blindly put all my faith in him if this were back in the day. Really, though, he struggled against all odds, completed assembler, and now he wants to trick the Minion into letting him save the world? That's exactly the sort of thing a protagonist in some space opera would pull off. Or more accurately, a superhero. The fact that I'm suspicious of it probably proves that I'm not the pure kid I once was.
そうだよね。こうが素直に言うことを聞いたのって先生だけだったもんね。
おーい、それは千夏か空が言ってたセリフだろ。あいつらは先生を狼狽させた数少ない問題児だ。
あの二人は本当に元気だったもんね。
She finally laughs, even if there's a hint of sadness about it.
なあ、菜の葉、直に会って話をしないか。
いいの？また私に会ってくれるの？
当たり前だ。よかったらネットカフェの続きをしたい。
わかった。じゃあ後でゴーの部屋に行くからね。
I can almost feel her blushing from here. Just a shame I can't enjoy the sight for myself. Either way, I might as well get some more rest until she comes over. Childhood friend? I run on a path in Minami Osaka looking for my childhood friend.
ここにいなかったら最悪だよな。
Hmm? Why are we here? She disappeared without saying where she's going. You can't really say she ran away from home, but it's close. She did it because she failed the exam and saw me date Chinatsu. We dated Chinatsu? Man. I feel like that's probably the most realistic option, to be honest. So we dated Chinatsu and yet we dumped her and went for Sora instead. Man, this guy's a Casanova. Shit, it's my fault. I look around my childhood hometown, but I guess most people don't understand Casanova anymore. I don't know what you'd call it, like a playboy, I guess? But I guess that's not modern. What's a modern word? Rizzler? I quickly find a place I used to live. Nanoha's room is right next to it, and she's just standing there looking like the loneliest person in the world.
菜の葉、
来てくれたんだ。
She talks without even facing away from her front door.
ああ、ここに来ているのかと思ってな。
ここを知ってるのはこうだけだもんね。
I stand next to her and look at her side profile. She looks so desolate, it almost hurts. The door isn't that far, but it feels like she's looking at the distant
ご
horizon.
めん。みんな心配してた？
まあな。寮に戻ったら多分俺の吊るし上げ大会が待っているよ。
ごめんね。迷惑かけて。
謝るなよ。迷惑とも思ってないし。
We stand side by side and stare at our old homes. It's an odd feeling. The scene is familiar, but the aura of their everyday life is completely different.
不思議な気分だね。風景も何も変わっていないのに、私たち以外の誰かがここに住んでいるよ。
I guess Japan doesn't really renovate their houses, huh?
ああ、俺も同じことを思っていたよ。
バカだよね。ここに帰れば、お父さんやお母さんがおかえりって出迎えてくれるような気がして。そんなわけないのに。本当にバカだよね。
I agree. She bites her lips so hard it's almost bleeding. Her hands are in fists so tight you can see her veins.
わかるよ。俺だってこうしていると母さんが待っていそうな気がするからな。
I gently pat her head. Her silky hair slips through my fingers. I guess there's a clear disconnect between my situation and these people, huh? When I was younger, I wasn't really thought about affection and empathy all that much. So even when my mom died, probably about the same age as when Ko's mom died, I didn't really feel anything. I don't think I even felt like, I want to see mom again. Large tears form in her eyes as she starts sobbing.
怖いよ。私、本当に怖い。私、世界で一人ぼっちなんだよ。
なのは。
何？
I let out a mumble, still half asleep, only for a kind voice to respond to me. The sight of Nanoha peering into my eyes is the first thing I see when I wake up.
もう来てたのか。
Seems like I end up falling asleep while waiting for her. The soldiers keeping an eye on the room are all gone too.
気にしなくていいよ。こう、ゆっくり話そう。また、夢を見ていたの？
ああ、まあな。
Oh, sorry about that. The look in her eyes is slightly different compared to how they were in my dream. There's something strangely comforting about that.
ごめん。
もう謝るな。どっちかといえば、今は俺が謝りたい気分だ。
Let me save my game.
します。よろしいでしょうか。どうして？
お前が家出した時の夢を見てたんだよ。
そっか。コウが追いかけてきてくれた時のことだね。
We end up discussing the events of that day for a while.
寂しい。本当に怖い。私、世界で一人ぼっちなんだよ。
Man, imagine if this was actually not a girl and a guy. You think people would care? It's kinda... After, like, my friend, told me about how our minds are very much... What's the word? Basically, when I was playing through Persona 5, there was a character who was clearly doing something very bad. And just because she's a pretty cute female character, you can kind of see that people kind of forgave her for what she did and just moved on. Right? And then my friend basically told me, what if that character is not a female? It's not a cute female, it's a guy. It's like a, basically what if what if it's a guy and it's one of those old bastards that you see in doujins? And I'm like, yeah, you make a very good point. I wouldn't have forgave what she did. And it's the same way here. What if this is an old bastard male instead of, a cute female chick? So after that point, I started thinking that, yeah, I basically don't care. I don't care about the scenarios. Whether they're a cute chick, whether they're a guy, I treat everyone the same. I've never seen her scared.
どうしたんだよ。今のお前は一人なんかじゃないだろ。俺もいる。寮のみんなだっている。
I noticed the dry tears on her cheek. It makes me cut my words short. Why is she so...
殺されちゃったんだ。お父さんにお母さん。
She says that like she's tired rather than sad.
お父さんとお母さんの乗った車に爆弾が仕掛けられて。
Were you there with them?
バラバラだった。お葬式でも何も見せられないぐらいだったよ。
そんな。
I guess she wasn't with them, but she knew they were killed. And how they were killed. Right. They died in a terrorist attack. Not as unfortunate casualties either. They were the targets. I'm surprised they didn't get tortured before they just instantly get blown up. Finding out like this has me speechless. Nanoha looks at me with a half angry, half sad gaze.
なのは
Seeing her like this is unbearable. I embrace her tight. Okay, she's not done. You done now, Nanoha? She sobs into my chest, crying new tears to replace the dried ones.
お父さんもお母さんもみんなのために頑張ってたのに、どうしてああなったんだろうね。
She forced herself to follow in her parents' footsteps. She was as weak to loneliness as ever. And she never spoke a word about her parents.
ごめん、気づいてやれなくて。俺が気づいてあげなくちゃいけなかったのに。
Sorry, Ko.
そんなこともあったよね。
俺的にはまだ笑えない思い出なんだけどな。
There's still a hint of sadness in her smile, but seeing it in person again feels good. It's proof that, despite everything, she's managed to move on somewhat from the pain she felt back then.
俺って成長してないよな。お前の身に何が起きているのか全く気づいてやれなかった。
Ko, if people don't show that they're in pain, how the hell are we supposed to know? It's not our responsibility to care about people that don't show their pain.
超能力者じゃないんだもん。気づかなくたって当たり前だよ。私こそごめんね。全然成長してないよね。変な隠し事ばかりしちゃって。
The more we speak, the less reserved we become.
多分私こうに変なとこ見せて嫌われたくないんだと思う。嫌われたら一人ぼっちになりそうで怖くて。
相変わらず一人は怖いのか？
うん、怖い。だから今までずっと怖かったよ。
She gazes up at me with longing eyes. Seeing that, I reach out and pull her in gently with a hug.
これで多少は安心したか？
うん。ものすごく安心できる。
All the tension flows right out of her body as she says that. That strange sense of comfort I felt before visits me once more.
こうにこうしてもらうと不思議だよ。
ああ、本当に不思議だよな。
Following that, we hug even tighter. I can feel my heart thumping in the midst of it.
あの時はありがとうね、こう。あの時、こうの胸で思いっきり泣いたから、お父さんたちのこと。辛い現実でも過ぎた思い出に変えられたんだと思うの。
そりゃあ、胸を貸した甲斐があったな。
I'm not used to hearing her say stuff like that. Now she's made me feel a bit shy.
こうが親友でいてくれたから。うんうん、親友でいてくれてよかった。親友のままいてくれればいいと思ってたはずなのに。
The mood changes almost instantly. Nanoha's half-teary eyes are peering into mine. And then, as if we'd suddenly become magnets attracted to one another, our faces draw close and closer together. Once again, our lips make contact.
友達なのにまたしちゃったよ。
嫌か？
嫌じゃないからいろいろ困っているんだよ。
The concern just makes her look even cuter, which prompts me to kiss her again.
ねえ、こうはどうしてキスしたがるの？
She poses a question in between breaths the moment our lips separate.
私は慰めてくれるため、それとも単なる。
Guards? I guess they're enjoying the show. So stupid.
俺がどう思ってキスしてると思ってるんだ？
ちょっとブサイクなチビとか？
お前のことをそんな風に呼んだのはガキの頃のいじめっ子ぐらいなもんだろ。
だって。
Seeing her get like this just pulls at my heartstrings even more. That's why I cast aside my own shyness and whisper into her ear.
可愛いと思ってるよ。
Whispering to her causes her face to almost turn into a tomato.
何照れてるんだよ。お前が聞いてきたくせに。
Another kiss. We gradually make our way through the process that Chinatsu so kindly cut off the other day.
でもやっと褒めてくれたね。
The smile on her face makes it apparent how happy she is about that.
そんなに嬉しかったのか？
うん。だってやっと可愛いって言ってくれたんだもん。
そうだっけ？
うん。少なくとも再会以来初めてだよ。
Seeing her smile fills me with joy. Typo?
だったらもっと
Maybe not a
言ってやらな
typo.
くちゃな。
I don't know if you can actually use false there.
もういいよ。照れるから。
可愛いな、お前。
Her face, defying all logic, somehow grown even redder, so she tries to hide it. I won't let her though. I want to see her face, so I place a finger on her chin and push it up.
やだ。意地悪だよ。
Her voice is getting more ragged. I can see her bright white teeth while she whispers to me. Our tongues lock together as we continue to kiss. She sticks her tiny little tongue out, trying ever so hard to wrap it around mine.
嬉しい。まさかこんなこと言ってくれるって思ってなかった。
たく、俺がお前を一体どう思ってると思ってたんだよ。
単なる手間のかかる幼馴染かな
って思ってたかもな。
けど
やっぱりお前は手間のかかる幼馴染だ。ずっと手元に置いておかないと安心できそうもない。
そうしたいならお願い。
She takes a deep breath.
私そばにずっと一緒にいたいのはきっとこうが大好きだから。
She gazes into my eyes, her lips quietly trembling. She seems like she'd burst into tears at the slightest surprise right now. That side of her just makes me love her even more though.
俺もきっとそうなんだろうな。お前がこんなに可愛いのはきっと好きだからなんだろうな。
That line makes her breath catch in her throat. Typo there. She latches onto me, burying her face into my chest.
大好き愛してる。
The floodgates in my mind are torn open the moment she says that. Pouring forth from them is nothing but pure pleasure. It's such an incredible sensation that I lose focus for an instant.
なのは
What the fuck? Leaving myself to it, I pull her closer and hug her with everything I have. Is this gonna be an H scene? That leads to me making contact with something soft in the process though.
わざとじゃないからな。
I quickly pull my hands back, panicking like I've suddenly become a student again. Nanoha reaches out to stop me as I pull back though.
なのは
Her hands are trembling and sweating like mad. I can feel her heart going wild through them. That doesn't stop her from pulling my hands back to her chest though.
あのね、こう私こうにキスを教えてもらってすごく嬉しかった。
ああ。
だからそのもっといろんなことを
Okay. Looks like she's hit her threshold for embarrassment. Now she's just staring at me like hoping I catch on.
わかった。じゃあ他人でいるのをやめちゃうか。
Okay, we're an enemy base. People might be listening to us, people might be watching us, and yet we're gonna have sex? Okay. What is this?
こうがそうしてくれるなら
The nerves in her expression are finally beaten out by a huge smile. We pull each other closer, exchanging another kiss. Okay. It's still safe, I guess, but once you guys cannot see anything, people on YouTube, Yeah. This is gonna be our first H scene in this route. I take Nanoha's hand and lay her down in a blanket on the floor. It's easy to tell how nervous she is. Not only is she as stiff as a board, she is using one hand to hide her face.
緊張しなくていいからな、ナノハ。
I lie down beside her, then gently grasp her hand and try to move it away from her face. Brushing my hand away, she proceeds to use both of her own to cover her face this time.
あのな。
ごめんね。私初めてだから。ちょっと怖くて。
She's finally able to take one hand away from her face.
その様子を見ればわかるよ。
I have to admit though, it's normal for her to be this shy, but she looks all the more adorable for it. Either way, I should let her settle down first. Thinking that, I position myself above her and give her a big hug. Her body's so small, I almost feel like I might crush it in the process. Just then, I notice a lingering scent of soap from her.
お前、なんかいい匂いがするな。
お湯を浴びてきたから。
頭もちゃんと洗ったんだな。
石鹸だけどね。だからゴワゴワしちゃって。
She had to use soap, I guess, and not shampoo. A shiver runs straight through her as I bury my face in her hair. The smooth sensation of it is comforting. The sweet smell nostalgic. The sweet smell nostalgic? That's a weird sentence. Her voice is shaky yet demanding. I give her another pat on the head, then move in to kiss her. This time, she's a bit more aggressive, almost as if she's trying to stave off her own fears.
あのね、知ってると思うけど、私怖がりだから。
I hear her voice in my head while we're in the midst of kissing.
わかってる。乱暴なことはしないから。
わかってるけど、そうじゃなくて、ちょっと強引でもいいから。
She somehow manages to sound embarrassed even through chant. I notice her tongue going all out right after her. I guess that's her way of hiding said embarrassment. Well, she's made her mind up. Now it's up to me to show the same courage. Thinking that, I place my hands on her sleeves. Okay, there we go. Patreon.com Azaikyousuke. Okay, I am out of this scene. I think you guys understand my personality at this point, that I just do not care about H scenes, guys. At least not H scenes that are this, you know, not story-driven, I guess. Like, H scenes that is just purely based on romance is, to me, I don't know, they're kind of lacking, to be honest. Because I'm not really looking for romance in these games anyway. I'm looking for something else. But yeah, people on YouTube, I will see you guys after the scene is done. People on Patreon, enjoy. I'm probably also going to end the episode depending on how long the H scene is. If it's just like the rain H scene, it's probably going to be just 10 minutes, so maybe I can go for a bit longer. But yeah, see you guys.
ありがとう。これで思い残すことないよ。
Hello? I think we're back, guys. So I had to change the like auto setting there real quick for this one. I wasn't really paying attention during the rain one. I really hope it's not that fast because I'm a fast reader and that's actually pretty darn quick. So I was here throughout that whole scene. But I was kind of just watching a YouTube video while I was listening and watching it. But yeah, it's an alright scene. As I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with these scenes. It's just the fact that, I don't know. Like, the romance in any story is just not really something that I look forward to, or it's not touching anything in my heart, right? Like, it doesn't really add anything in my opinion. But yeah, we're back, so let us continue on. We'll probably do like 1 or 2 more scenes and then we're gonna call it an episode.
だから、縁起でもないこと言うんじゃない。 I
think Engi is acting. I bury her face in my chest. We just sit there for a while doing absolutely nothing. That time feels so oddly precious though.
でも初めてがこんな場所で残念だったな。
I agree.
場所なんてどうでもいいよ。
I mean, I guess that's fair too. She gives me a quick, frank answer.
贅沢なんか言わない。私、ものすごく幸せだよ。
She seems aware of our current situation. We're not stuck in any ordinary place. This joint belongs to Dominion. The only reason they're treating us half decently is our connection with Mr. Kurihara. Who knows when good are going to bust in here guns blazing. There's no guarantee that we'll make it out of here alive. That's why she's being as brave as possible.
ねえ、今日はここで寝ちゃっていい？
いいけど、お前ももしかして一人部屋で軟禁状態か？
研究所の先生たちと一緒の部屋。みんなすごく可愛がってくれるから心配はいらないよ。けど、
わかった。何日でも好きなだけここにいろ。
ありがとう。そうするね。
With one blanket shared between us, we cuddled together until we fall asleep.
私ね、白いドレスを着るんだ。それで大きなケーキを用意してね。
There was a flashback to this scene too during the H scene. I don't really know what she was saying because it was only for 1 or 2 lines. And I was watching a bike show while, you know, the H scene was going on. So I was more paying attention to that instead. We were on the road back to school. Nanoha was talking about becoming a bride. It's a very girly fantasy. Suits her perfectly. But I was a huge brat, so I didn't like listening to it.
お前、結婚なんかするのかよ。どうして？
でも、
Oh, sorry about
どう
that.
だって結婚はするんでしょ？
しないよ。
どうして？どうして大人になっても結婚しないの？
I don't really know whether or not I'm gonna get married. I probably don't think so. Yeah, I actually said I'd never get married. I was pretty mature, if I do say so myself. I was still a brat, but I had already given up on ideas of family and marriage like some cranky old man.
ねえ、どうしてなの？好きな人が見つかっても結婚しないの？
しないんだよ。どうして菜の葉こそ結婚なんかしたがるんだ？
どうしてって。
この先、世界はどんどん悪くなるんだぞ。子供なんか作っても、いつ世界が滅びるかわかんないんだぞ。
You know, not gonna lie, I actually do things similarly to young Ko here.
そんなことないよ。だって
それに、男は親父に似るんだって。だから、俺が結婚したら、絶対に子供に寂しい思いをさせちゃうよ。
ならないよ。だってこうはきっといいお父さんになるし。
とにかく、しないったらしないんだよ。
だったらこう、おじいさんになっても一人ぼっちだよ。
Not
寂
really.
しくないの？
I mean, that's basically what I've been doing all my life. So not really. It was rather obvious that Nanoha was worried. However, cranky brat that I was, I couldn't bear having anyone look at me like that. So I went and said something I didn't actually mean.
お前だって、人のこと言えないだろ。
どうして？
ナノハはナノの学者になるんだろ。だったらやっぱり子供はナノハと同じで寂しい思いをしちゃうんだぞ。
それはしないもん。
するよ、するに決まってる。
だってでも私はお父さんお母さんが学者でも寂しくも辛くもないもん。
She said, even though they're both researchers, I don't feel lonely. I don't know why they omit that. Before I knew it, Nanoha was crying, and that was when I realized I went too far.
ごめん、言い過ぎたから泣くなよ。ナノハのお父さんやお母さんはいい人だもんな。きっとナノハだって。
だったら私も結婚できないね。
Normally, she would have started crying loudly, but instead, she just silently shed tears, looking profoundly sad.
一人ぼっちがずっと続いて、やっぱり大人になっても寂しいのが続くのかな。
I mean, that depends on you. For me, I didn't really care about being alone. In fact, I kind of enjoy it. The occasional going out with friends is fine, but I do prefer my time alone. It was hard to see her like that. I actually felt apologetic.
私想像しただけで寂しいよ。おばあさんになっても一人だなんて。
That's why I made an absurd promise.
そうなったら一緒に暮らそう。菜の葉が結婚できなかったら俺が寂しくないように一緒に暮らしてやるからさ。
じゃあ結婚しなかったらずっとこうが一緒にいてくれるの？
ああ、結婚しないならな。だから泣くなよ。菜の葉は一人ぼっちにならないよ。
約束だよ。本当に約束だよ。
Damn you, childhood friend archetype. Since that day, Nanoha never spoke of her dreams of marriage again. I felt like I destroyed her dream, but I was far too young to know how to make up for it. And so I started spending even more time with her than before. The first thing I hear upon waking up is the comforting sound of someone sleeping beside me. Said person is Nanoha, who's curled up into a ball and cuddling into me. Into? Seeing her like that helps me process our current situation. How we're more than just friends now.
菜の葉。
I can't help but brush my fingers against her hair. Her small pink lips quiver ever so slightly as they utter my name. I can't believe you have all of this backstory and yet Ko still chose, you know, Shinatsu and Sora if you think about it. That causes me to go in for the kill almost on instinct. Wait, what did he say before? Her small pink lips quiver ever so slightly as they utter my name. There we go. Unsurprisingly, kissing her in her sleep causes her to stir. God damn it, Nanoha, you're making me have to censor your sprite. She throws her hands over her mouth, her face as red as a tomato.
一体何を？
ああ、いや、なんとなく。
なんとなくって。
Her hands shoot up to cover her face this time.
何してるんだ、お前。
私すごいことしちゃったよ。
Seems like she's in the process of dying while remembering last night's events. Yeah, she didn't even say anything. She's just screaming. Come on, localization team.
だな、菜の葉。
Whatever you say, localization team. Uh-oh, she's going wild. Now I'm starting to feel all nervous.
頼む、落ち着け。俺まで身もだえしたくなってくるから。
Seeing that, I move in close and gently wrap my arms around her.
もしかして、
Oh, sorry about that.
後悔しているのか？
してたらこんな風にならないよ。
She casts her eyes up at me while speaking, her face still as red as ever. I can feel my own cheeks getting flushed. We can't help but indulge ourselves in another kiss. What a way to start the day.
なんか妙な感じだよ。こうとこんなことになっちゃって。
俺だってそうだ。菜の葉の初めてをもらっちゃうなんて。
もう私たち幼なじみの友達じゃいられないね。
She seems a bit concerned.
もう俺たちって恋人関係なんじゃないのか？そんなに呆然とするなよ。恥ずかしいの俺だって我慢してるのに。
ごめん、呆然とするぐらい嬉しかったからつい。
She shoots me a smile, yet her eyes are still tearing up.
あそこまでして互いに好きとか言い合ってだな。それでもまだ何か足りないのか？
だってこうはまだ肝心なこと言ってくれてないもん。
She's sulking, but I can see the glint of hope hidden in her eyes.
じゃあとりあえずセフレから始めてみませんか？
こう
照れくさいからふざけただけだ。
ひどい。
若草菜の葉さん、俺と付き合ってくれませんか？
Tears well up in her eyes again the moment she responds.
だからいちいち泣くなって。女の涙が苦手になったのは多分お前が理由だぞ。
だって嬉しいよ。こんなに嬉しいの生まれて初めてかも。
だったら泣くなって言っても無駄か。
キスしてくれたら大丈夫かも。
I hear her request, then I move in and lock lips with her. How many more times will I have the pleasure of sharing a kiss with her? How much longer will I get to hug her for? Unease begins to course through me, enough so to make me want to scream. I can tell that we're both thinking the same thing. As such, there's no hesitation in our next course of action. Is it gonna be a double H scene? What the fuck? What the Are we gonna be done with this route after this is done or something? What is going on? They're going through the H-scenes like insanely quick, unlike in Rain's route. Well, Patreon.com Azaikyousuke again, guys. Jesus Christ. These guys are horny as fuck. See you, YouTube. I'm definitely done with the episode after this. What the fuck? Hello? And yeah, we're back once again. That was a super short one. Maybe not even like 3 minutes. I was still watching my bicycle show. But it's already done. Our bodies drenched in sweat, we simply lie there in an embrace. My members forcefully ejected from our insides, putting an official end to our intercourse.
ごめん。また先に行っちゃって。
Wait, is it not done?
すごく気持ちよかったよ。
So are we done? Oh, sorry about that. A pleasant sense of exhaustion assaults the both of us, lulling us to sleep while still embraced. Is that the end of the chapter? Okay, I think I'm just gonna go end the episode right here, guys. That is so weird. Like, there's a double H scene right there. But, yeah. I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I certainly didn't really enjoy the last probably like 40 minutes because I couldn't really do anything much. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. There's 2 H scenes here for people on YouTube that can't see them. But they're very short. The second one is short. The first one is decently, like okay, I guess. Decent length. Probably about 8 to 10 minutes too. But yeah, for people on YouTube that aren't on Patreon just yet, feel free to become a free member. Because that's going to be where I put first episode previews of future playthroughs. Gosh, Chapter 9 was so good and then suddenly Chapter 10 is like, here you go, double H scene. We're not going to show you anything else. I mean, they're not showing us anything yet. Because the chapter isn't done. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Baldr Sky. See ya.